Hello and welcome to a day where we are getting a patch for Europa Universalis 5 to fix some of the issues that have been complained about in the past few days. And yeah, there's been quite a few complaints, and they are not unwarranted. So, 1.2.4 is out now. It primarily gives buffs to population growth, which is very, very important. We're going to go and have a look at what that's doing in a moment. Fixes for unit morale, which should hopefully lead to less frustrating stack wipes, also incredibly important, and more. In addition to these changes, we've also made some minor tweaks that we hope will positively impact performance. Insanely important. Performance is, in my opinion, the thing about the game that is the most negative. That is the biggest block on me enjoying the game as much as I otherwise would, is performance. It is rough. Performance improvements are an ongoing effort. They intend to carry through the beta period on 1.3, so we'll see what happens with the changes in this patch. Hopefully things will go further on and go forth. So, gameplay government stuff. They've rebalanced the complacency drivers. They halved the passive gain from idle rival slots, which is very important. People getting complacency because they are too large to have any threats meant that you were gaining. I mean, it makes sense that you're gaining complacency because the AI is not doing very well, but then it's a little awkward. It's like, it's not my fault that the AI is bad. It's not my fault that you're not a threat. And I mean, I guess that does mean that your complacency would go up for the meaning of complacency, but it's just it's something you just really don't have any recourse for, right? You can game it, you can declare war on a single location miner and lose to them and give them money and all that and get revanchism, which, I mean, do you want to, like, do that, though? Like, you are a large, powerful country to the point where there is no threats towards you, and so you intentionally lose wars in order to bring your complacency down? It's not the way the game should be. So this is gonna keep going through rebalancing, I'm sure. Fixed a ruler title not updating after forming a country, whatever. Increased pop growth modifiers from available land and cheap food. It doesn't give you any numbers. I've heard some people say that they're going from about 0.5 to 0.7%, which in the long run, that's going to be quite a lot. But I thought we could do a little bit of a test. This is the campaign where I'm playing as Milan, and I'm currently the Italian Empire. And you can see at the top of the screen, we have 5,027 in pop growth. We're not doing too badly. We are doing a bit of colonization, so it would be a little bit higher if I was to cancel all these. But we're going to run a month, and then we're going to see what happens to the population. And yes, I am running as well with the Faster Universalis mod that removes the hour ticks. It's something I am testing and hoping to implement in this multiplayer. Anyway, let's move on to February. 5,027 changes into 7,365. Now, again, grain of salt. Things could have changed over here. Maybe a location got annexed, hit the cap, blah, 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 whatever. I don't know. I don't know for sure. But we'll run another month. We'll run another month, and we'll see if we change away from this number, or we go higher, we go lower. Who knows? We'll run another month and see if this 6,800, it's still roughly around the same. I'm happy with these numbers. I'm happy with that the numbers are coming back up, because we have seen quite a lot of complaints recently about, especially comparisons between this is what the population in 1.1 was at this stage of the game, and this is the population in 1.2 at the same stage of the game, and these are just completely different numbers. A lot of people pointing out this peasants percentage as well being really, really awful. This is the kind of this is the map mode you need when you are looking at how much growth potential you still have. So I have 27% of my population is still peasants, which means I have 27% of my pops can be promoted into laborers, can be promoted to burghers, can be promoted into working all these jobs that I need. So I have way less potential growth than, for example, France, who is at 48%. He's got a lot of potential growth still. That is, and then seeing these maps between different countries, between different patches, is you know, having a lot more red and a lot lower numbers in 1.2 versus 1.1, and people are understandably having issues with that. But anyway, let's get back in and have a look at more stuff. Fix an issue that caused white pieces, in particular, to have 20-year truces. Yep, that definitely sucks. Changes truces to properly scale the war score used to end the war instead of the war score the war ended with. Wow, so if you got to 100%, but you only took 5% war score, say you only wanted their money, but you got them to 100% anyway, you were getting that maximum truce length. I didn't even notice that. That is rough. That is very rough. Change the combat overrun ratio to use each side's true nominal strength as the numerator, so a 0 morale army can no longer be auto-overrun by a much smaller opponent. Morale collapse still gates resistance, preserving the intended overrun mechanic at a genuine 10x size advantage. Okay, that's fine. I mean, I do kind of like sometimes seeing, you know, my plucky few cavalry manage to get an overrun of larger armies, but whatever. If this is going to stop the silly stack wipes that we've been seeing, that would be great. Changed cores gained from script and events or lost to other countries to remain for a period of 100 years. I think we saw that already, but essentially this was things like the Ottomans gaining a core on Constantinople and then immediately losing it again because it's majority Greek and they don't accept it. City walls to Thessalonica at the start of the game, added cathedral buildings across Greece and the Balkans, redesigned locations in Ikaria and Samos from Genoa to Byzantium at the game start, updating reconquest of Eastern Aegean, and Genoese have taken Chios events to reflect the new starting ownership. Set the current rank of Patras to a duchy, rebalance the conditions for reform society disaster to make it less tedious to achieve once again. The subject location contribution was changed from 0.75 to 0.25, and the monthly push towards centralization is changed as well. The approximate effect is that for a player with 24 direct locations and 120 subject locations, the target drops from 114 to 54, requiring annexing roughly half the subjects instead of almost all. Okay, I'm okay with this. This seems okay. Especially we saw a lot of decentralization kind of got pushed way too hard, because of the amount of them increasing the amount of push towards decentralization. The more vassals you have, the more push towards it you had. It was really kind of awkward and not very fun to play with in that regard, so hopefully this is something that is going to fix that. Fix another instance that caused Percy and Mortimer rebels armies to not spawn in the tripartite indenture. Fixed Byzantine event, Brilliant Center of Learning, granting an art school or arts academy at Mistress when it's not the capital, which caused the building to be immediately removed. That's fun. When it's not the capital, it now applies a permanent Center of Learning location modifier. That's nice. Fixed Percy and Mortimer rebels. Again, cool. Fixed the sack and destruction of Venice event firing when Rome... Byzantium acquired Venice through peaceful diplomatic annexation, like annexing a Venetian Pronoia subject. The event now trigger also requires that it's not done. Yeah, requires the new Venice acquired peacefully variable set in on diplomatic annex. Basically, you no longer sack the city if you get it peacefully. Fair enough. Fixed the event controversial texts from X, applying an unbounded satisfaction penalty by adding a proper division by 100 to the formula. This we saw in the multiplayer that I'm playing in. Both Aragon and Switzerland had this issue, where they would basically get like 2,400 dissatisfaction because of this event being unbounded. We required a save edit to fix that. But now it's fixed in the game. That's good. Fixed the Wallachian Vlad the Impaler event, now not appearing in content lists. Good. Prevented the castrated and eunuch rulers from triggering dynastic heir events that gave bastard sons. Makes sense. Improved text of non-possessor movement. Fixed missing localization in Roman DHEs. Fixed GB and Spain formables not appearing in the lobby content viewer. Tweaked the formation of Rome as Byzantium, so it also integrates the Maritima province, Rome, Terracina, and Velletri upon formation, avoiding some issues caused by moving the capital to the Rome location. Nice that it actually integrates that, so maybe I don't bother integrating it after I conquer it in my game. That could be an interesting thing. Fixed Kefali bureaucracy being available from the game start instead of requiring winning the Fate of the Phoenix disaster. Fixed Latin Empire formable not appearing in the Age of Reformation due to an inconsistent age requirement. Add an exception to not call an overlord for the subjects of the Latin Empire when using Latin Reconquest CB. I've not tried this Latin reconquesting thing. I formed Francocratia as Venice. I still yet to do a campaign as Athens. I think maybe you can do it as Rhodes as well, but I'm not sure. Changed forming Byzantium or the Roman Empire to unlock the Restore Roman Border CB, gated on the Fate of the Phoenix. Fixed to empower the eunuchs government reform, not grant... Wait. Forming Biz or Roman Empire to unlock Roman Border CB. Is this maybe making it so that Trebizond can get Restore Roman Borders if it was gated on this before, and obviously Trebizond not able to get that? Maybe that's it. Fixed upper-burgergal hyperlink in the Bugordnung policy tooltip. Changed Skolai privileges urban right to require a university and 20 dev. Okay, interesting. Improved Grant of Triumph Hellenic action. I've not done any Hellenic stuff yet. I'm looking forward to do it. Made Hellenism religious aspect pairs that share a defining modifier mutually exclusive. Fixed tooltip to show triumphant trait modifier granted by Grant of Triumph not appearing correctly. Set Latin culture to start with kindred opinion of Greek. Okay. Fix the Shinto AI countries committing seppuku excessively. Stop killing yourselves. Not good for you. Fixed loan interaction being usable on icons. Alright. Fixed Restore Roman Border CB showing on subjects when the Overlord owned Roman land. Alright. Changed Castrate and Blind interactions to exclude a character from being eligible as a pretender in Succession Crisis. Change Restore Roman Borders to also consider subject neighbors and as potential targets. Nice. This means in my campaign where I am playing, obviously, Rome, I have Cilicia as a vassal. They border the Mamluks, so I couldn't get the CB on the Mamluks. Now I can. That's quite nice. Remove DLC lock for the new H2 to H6 Varangian units. Fair enough. That's good. Change Cataphract and Akrati location triggers to require Roman culture group instead of just the Greek culture. Changed Cataphract advances to require the Roman culture group instead of Greek culture group. Fixed Iberian Caravel not being able to upgrade to the square-rigged Caravel. Rebalanced the Restoring Varangians event chain. Move the event window so it fires earlier. Reduced the gold transfer to better match comparable events. And accepting it permanently grants +1 Varangian unit. Alright. Change the task Found a New Town under infrastructure events to take into account the Megalopolis rank in the onboarding. That's basically a tutorial. Fix some advances. Fixed some flags. AI score for land morale modifier. Alright, whatever that is. AI would never stop to recover morale if they didn't have food, regardless of whether the morale recovery would be positive. Increase army size targets. Good. Fixed an issue where large countries would often not be able to hire mercenaries due to problems with checking recruitment locations. Fixed an issue where AI navies could get stuck in friendly transport objective. Fixed issues where the AI didn't factor in hired mercs when evaluating country strength. Alright. Fixed move capital event effect showing development changes as 0 when forming new countries. Updated hire merc effect tooltip. Added religion data map mode. When mousing over religion in the UI, and then changed mousing over religion in the UI to display holy sites. That's cool. And then some bug fixes. Offered Omens got fixed. War of the Roses got fixed. Capped at 100% peace deal truce at 15 years. Good. But yeah, some other bug fixes in there as well. So, if you have played a little bit of the new patch, which is, well, it's been out for 45 minutes as of the time I'm recording. By the time you get this video, it'll be probably about an hour, maybe a little bit more than an hour, depending on how long it takes for YouTube to do its thing and accept that my video doesn't have any copyright crap in it. That takes a while. Ugh. Anyway, YouTube stuff. But anyway, thanks all for watching. Before I go, though, you should check out the Glorp UI mod. I am its largest hype man, according to Glorp himself. And because of that, he added my face. He added my face to the main menu. It's a little surreal, but thank you, Glorp. You are precious, and we must protect you at all costs. Thanks all for watching, guys, and I will see you in the next one. Bye-bye.